didn't have YouTube. We didn't have all these great platforms that we have now, like Rhythm Monster and everything, you know, that people can click a few buttons and get right in front of them on their computer. We didn't have that back in my day. We had to listen to records. We had to wait for our maybe one chance a year that we were going to be at a certain contest where we could watch Toronto and District, or we could watch SFU, or we could watch 78th Fraser Highlanders, or what have you, and we could see some of these players in person doing their thing. Back in the day, it was putting a needle on a record and wearing out the grooves of the Live in Ireland record, because you've listened to it so many times and EQ'd your stereo so you can try and pump the bass and isolate what is going on there. For me, there's a couple of recordings that I still go back to that I would encourage. You know, it's all up there on iTunes and everything. You can find these records. The 87 World Championship still, for me, is amazing. There's amazing... Get over the fact that it's a bit dated tonally. The snare drums are a little lower pitched. The pipes are a little lower pitched. Whatever. Listen to the music. Some of the smaller at that time bass and tenor sections are they're doing some awesome stuff. In particular, listen to the March Strathspey reel that Toronto and District play, and about 5 seconds into that piece, you can hear how Big Jim Stewart is driving the bus, and it's amazing, and it still holds up to this day. Pound for pound, it's still amazing. Frasers, Bagad, The Vale, all these bands killing it with their bass and tenor sections back then. They were ahead of the curve. They were onto something. The sections got bigger. Fast forward to about late 90s. Other thing you got to check out is the 1999 World Championship recordings, Volume 1 and Volume 2. There's not one band on both of those records that you can't get something great out of. You know, you got the legendary Walking the Plank medley. From the Frasers, you've got SFU killing it that year. John Nickel, one of my good friends, killing it on the bass drum that year. Field Marshal, Strathclyde on that record. Listen to Strathclyde playing Cameronian Rant as a Strathspey, and it will blow your mind. The long roll that the bass drummer does, it's crazy. This is 1999. So that's the stuff that I still go back to. But then also bringing it back to current day, I guess, is don't be afraid to go up and talk to some of these people that you admire as players. There's lots of players that are still playing now that are doing some really, really cool things. And check out what they're doing. We have all these tools now. Go up and talk to people. Click on the button on your computer and check it out. Ask questions. It's not all about going out and, you know, only listening to the record and trying to pick it apart. It's absolutely okay to find and come talk to me. You might have to look up a little bit, stand on a drum case and talk to me. It's fine. No, I mean, it's like, man, I 100% encourage people to go. I don't think we do enough of that. I don't think we do enough of, the pipe band community can be very insular at times, and you know, behind closed doors, we might talk about how much we admire other people's playing, but we're afraid to admit it in public. It's okay. It's okay. It's okay to all get along. It's okay to admire, you know, like I'm a fan of Bagad. I'm a fan of Reed's playing in SFU. I'm a fan of, you know, the Inverary guys. I'm a fan of Slot. I'm a fan, like, they know it. What's wrong with me saying it? You know, go up and ask questions. I've asked those guys before. I've asked some of the, you know, bass drummers that I've admired, what are you doing there, man? That is totally cool. And I hope you don't mind. I'm going to steal it. It's okay.